Hi everyone, I'm your coach Todd Hughley, and today I want to talk about some stuff that I went over with Mr. Malaska was in town, and we did a video together, and I've actually been using that a lot in lessons lately, and I want to cover what we discussed. So before we get into that, please hit the subscribe button, like the videos, comment below, and share. Now let's get started. Now, one of the coolest things in my career is being one of Mike's certified coaches. I mean, when we're talking about legends of golf instruction and a coach, Mike is at the very top. He's on the Mount Rushmore as far as coaches go. And what I've learned from him has been very cool because it's blended out with my philosophy prior to us becoming friends. And how we kind of met was we had similar stories about how our games were taken away. We taught very similar patterns. Our philosophies were the same, both from Utah. Ended up meeting, clicking, becoming friends, and now I'm one of his coaches. And I mean, really, if you haven't checked out Malaska.com or even my website and his M system, it's incredible and what he teaches, and he really is phenomenal. And a lot of what I've learned from Mike, and actually what I did before, but has improved upon with Mike just because of his incredible knowledge and what he's got, has been implemented into a lot of my coaching because it's helped eliminate a lot of bad concepts from students. There's still too many coaches, unfortunately, teaching effects and not the causes. And one of Mike's things, he says one of the worst pictures in golf is this picture right here, because students think all they have to do is drag that handle to there and then just keep swinging and everything's going to be fine. But there's a lot of things that have to happen to get that to show up. Now, when we talk about the levers and the lever system, and this look cool drill, and how the club pivots right here, just swinging the weight of the club is such a huge deal for golfers to learn. And even with the lead arm and where it pivots, you see how it's pivoting back here. When I'm talking about pivoting, it's starting to turn the corner to get back out in front of me, the club. Depending on which club, you could have it more off the lead leg, like say for the driver, but for most of us, we need to have it pivot back in the middle, or sometimes even off the trail leg, depending on who we are. If we're dragging the handle and never getting the club back out in front of us, we have to do it sooner. And when we talk about the golf swing, it basically feels just like this. That's what the golf swing feels like. And when you put the hands together, it feels like you go from here to here. And I've talked about that before, and that's not very impressive stuff. And this even blends in with Mr. Flick, but I never had the opportunity to work with Mr. Flick, and Mike was very good friends with him. But when you think about this, going from this side to this side, and I've talked about the tee to re-tee drill and how good that is for your golf swing, you need to learn to do these with your hands. These simple little drills, the look cool drill, which I have on the my YouTube channel and on my website, and get in touch with the levers. Then from there, it's being loose and relaxed and understanding how to get the body involved as well as those levers. And Mike talks about getting this motion right here, up here, and doing it here. And I've talked about this before on my page, but it's amazing how effective that is for golfers when they're learning how to play. And with the driver or wedges or long irons or fairway woods, that release is so important because it teaches you how to let the club whip past you as your body is stabilizing and the hips are moving. Now, how do the hips move? This is a great thing. So the hips in the backswing, the trail hip just clears out of the way, okay? Now, when the hands come down and the club starts to turn the corner to get back in front of us, this lead hip, which you can even do before that happens, starts to push back. It starts to push away. This is how the hips work. So we have that trail hip back, Hands and arms are coming down. That lead hip is just doing this, okay? We're not firing the hips. That is a misconception that has ruined a lot of players. So when you add in what's kind of that baseball golf maybe feel a lot of players have, and then they implement that hip pushing back, now their body keeps up with this motion. So if I stand here and do this by itself, it looks like I'm going to be flipping at the golf ball. That's not the case if I get my body involved and start turning, okay? Now everything is blended out and looks great. So when we take all these little skill sets and feel that motion while our body is turning and that lead hip is moving out of the way, now we have ourselves a complete golf swing, and it's really going to up your speed, make you more accurate, and be easier on your body. And we built it off these little simple concepts. And it's not firing the hips. It's actually allowing gravity to unhinge our wrists, to offset the club going around our body. We push this direction, which speeds the club up. We stabilize the club face, and all these things equal to pure contact, speed, and no wear and tear on your body. And that's the coolest thing that I've learned from Mike. And blending these things together, I'm going over them constantly in my lessons, because I still see golfers doing the pin and spin. They're over the top, or they're trying to fire their hips and they're dumping the club way behind them. Now, when it comes to drills to help you build these things, we have the trail foot back drill that allows you to swing without getting your body in the way and teaches you how the hands and the levers work. And we have the feet together drill, and then the split grip drill, which is phenomenal because it really teaches you where your hands and arms are going to come down in the downswing, and then you have to work the club into the golf ball as you come down into impact. So it's here, and then the club has to work into the ball, and then it goes up and over here like this. That drill is one of the best anybody can do, and I learned that one from Mr. Malaska, and that is a game changer for a lot of people because they never feel those hands, especially that lead hand, get in here like this, and then the club release efficiently. And if you notice, when I do this, when I bring my hands and arms down, my hip is starting just to automatically get out of the way. That's something I generally don't have to think about. But with a lot of golfers, they still have the concept of trying to fire the hip, and they have the issue with this leg coming off the ground. But to recap, what I learned from Mike and what's incredible about it is the levers. This is something I knew kind of before I met Mike from my friends that taught me, who were extremely good players. But Mike taught me different levels of this and really took it to a different dimension for me to learn. And it was very, very cool. And to be able to explain that to my students. And then how this release works, going from here, club goes from here to here. And we definitely want the club whipping past us, but our body is definitely moving and involved. And then this particular feeling right here has been gold for so many of my students and myself. And then how to blend all of it together and then include that split grip drill. But when you blend everything together, your golf swing, you kind of becomes a dance with the golf club, if you will, and you start hitting these very, very good shots that have power and accuracy. And this is all from working with Mike, really being able to dig into his brain, and the knowledge he has is incredible. And to be able to be a part of that and to share that with him on a daily basis is pretty remarkable. So go check out his stuff. Look at my stuff, again, Malaska.com. and then ToddHughleyGolf.com, and then there's a few other instructors. There's 9 of us worldwide who are Mike's certified coaches. Matt Baker, Billy Fitzgerald, Doug Roberts, Julie Yang, just a few I can get off the top of my head there. Doug is also local. He teaches in Park City area, and they're all incredible coaches that have blended in with the philosophy that Mike teaches, and they're just building golfers all over the state, all over the world. Like Mr. Baker is overseas in England. He's just a phenomenal coach. I believe Billy is in states. I will link these guys and talk about them in my description so you can find them. But they're all phenomenal coaches, and based off of Mike's stuff, who's just an incredible teacher, one of Golf Digest's legendary coaches. I mean, what more do you need? So if you have any questions on this stuff, please let me know.